Here is the before, here's after, and here's where we start with cutting off the hair. Her hair was really cute when I bought her and I loved it, but the glue started seeping out of her scalp and it became all gummy, and it was just time to give her a makeover. So I decided I was going to just get rid of all the hair that she had, and here I am cutting it all off, and then you have to get the rest of it out by using tweezers, which I'm going to be doing right now. You'll see there's some regular pliers, and then there are some needle nose pliers, and I have to really start digging inside and pulling out all the little flakes. That's what you see come flying out, all the little bits that were stuck inside. Some of them came out easily, some of them I had to poke around with the screwdriver in order to loosen them up and get them out. I'm sorry it's off screen a little bit, but you can see just how much hair is coming out from there. And these are the wigs. I had an orange wig and a blonde wig. These were Halloween wigs. They were very inexpensive, and I made my hair plugs from these. So we just brush out the hair strand by strand and tie off the ends. Those are only temporary knots just to hold the strands together. You'll see later I am going to cut these knots off because we don't need them, and we just keep making strands. Now I decided I loved the orange color so much that most of her head would be with the orange, and then I put in a few blonde streaks in between just to add a little bit of highlight. So for each strand, you can see here there's a few that are already put through. Each strand I put it into the water first, wet it because it's always easier to work with when it's wet. The pointy end of the needle first into the scalp, and then pull it out using tweezers from the other end, and then making a knot and pulling it through. And this is very slow and time consuming, but after several hours I had most of the front done. And this is where the part is going to be. Now you can see there's only a little section left near the back, because it's a good idea to work row by row where the holes are in the scalp. And here you can see there's just a few holes left on the very bottom row, and I just randomly placed the blonde streaks wherever I felt that I wanted to. There was really no particular pattern to that. Now I'm going to confess, many of the strands that I made, I really made too thick, and that created a problem. Here you can see I'm just trimming the strand before I thread it through the eye of the needle. Here you can see a really good shot. Oh, it's slightly off screen, sorry about that, but if you wet it and then put it through, you can see. And now the point of the needle is finding the hole. This is exactly how all of the plugs were done. So you poke the point in. Now at this point it was getting really hard to get it through, because you can see by looking in her neck hole just how all the knots from the inside were really plugging up the inside of her head. And it was getting harder and harder to pull the needle out at the other end with the tweezers. So I really recommend that you make thinner strands than what I've got here. Really about half the thickness would have been much better. There is another method where you don't make the knot that you see I'm making now with the crochet hook. I just thought it would be more secure. I have a lot of little girls who love playing with these dolls, and they're pretty rough at yanking brushes through. There's the knot. And so I wanted it to have it be really secure inside her head, but there are many other rerouting methods that just don't put a knot in at all, and then just squirt some glue inside the head and attach the hair that way. But after having had a problem with glue seepage to begin with, I really didn't want to run the risk of that. So what I was doing here with the screwdriver is just pushing all of the knots in a little bit tighter, packing them down so there'd be room. And here she is, right after a ReRoot. Her hair is standing straight up, so she needed to have the part made. I tied the rubber band to keep the hair down as flat as possible, and then we're going to plunge her hair into the boiling water. I was afraid that the face paint would come off in the boiling water, so you can see we're dipping it very, very cautiously right now. But really there's nothing to be afraid of, because I did put her in, you'll see in a minute, we're going to put her in all the way, and it did not affect her makeup at all. So it's good to dunk in little bits just to test it first, and because I was most concerned with getting the hair flat around the top of her head. I wasn't too concerned about the rubber band pinching in the back and maybe leaving a bump, which it did, but I knew I was going to curl her hair, so it didn't really bother me. Then I dunked her hair one more time without the rubber band on it. Then I made rollers out of drinking straws. I cut them into little pieces, put them in with bobby pins, and then we dunked her hair into the boiling water one more time, took out the rollers, and voila! If you enjoyed this video, please click the subscribe button down below and ring the bell next to it, and you'll be notified of all my future videos. And look below, see where my Instagram account is with Barbie clothes and my other videos. Thanks for watching.